Hey peeps, locking down the truth of Marci Lock and
Mustache.
Sky Guy, the green-haired amazingness. So we wanted to share something with you because we believe in sharing truth and being value creators, and when we have these truths that we learn and implement in our life and make our life greater and greater and greater, of course we want to share the freedom with other people. And so I asked Sky if he was open to do a video about this, because this morning we had an interesting morning and learning and integrating the tools and the patterns and the behaviors to get everything that you want and to get awesomeness in your relationships. So we obviously have an amazing, wonderful relationship. He has an amazing relationship with his brother as well. And yet this morning there was some conflict going on. So this morning, do you want to share just like how you were feeling and what happened?
I was angry at Gavin because we got mad at, well, it was stupid, but we got angry at each other over a shirt,
So they had a miscommunication. He was also really tired and kind of on edge. And
still am.
Yeah, and Gavin was trying to fix it, and yet he didn't feel heard. He didn't feel like his request was being honored for some space. So there's these gaps of communication. And so when we got down to it, before they left for school, well, I said, I'm like, this is more priority. He's like, no. So Sky's pattern that he's working on will be that when things get too much, he just wants to like, and shut it down and run the other way and kind of just go through the motions of it. So he's like, Mom, I'm just super angry. I just want to be left alone. I just want to go to school. And I'm like, hey, Breed, like, I can understand that. Thank you for letting me know that you're feeling that way. Let's look at what we're going to create then. What's your day going to be like if you go to school mad and angry? What's the truth? You and your brother love each other. We get to remember and assume the very best. There's a gap of communication here, so we sat down and he got to explain to Gavin that as we walked through the communication, that he wasn't feeling like his requests were being heard, like and Gavin got to explain where he was, where his perceptions were. And so we walked through. We have 5 steps to overcome sabotage, right, in anything, and to communicate. And the first step is always like, what am I feeling, and what do we do, Sky? I notice, I feel. So instead of him saying, you did this to me, and we're pointing fingers and we're projecting and we're assuming and we're claiming things for other people that were in their heads or bodies, he says, I notice I feel frustrated, Gavin. I'm really tired and I'm feeling this way, and this is why, right? And what I want is, could you assist me and help me out right now? And could you, give me some space or not sing this morning? And he was just, and it coming from a sweet space. So he's working on his pattern, being calm and asking nicely, and it being from what you're really feeling. Instead of just like, leave me alone, stop that, shut up, right? Then that we never get what we want. And so he's really practicing this thing about, what are you practicing? What do we create as our commitment? You were going to practice
5 steps.
Always going through the aspects of I notice, I feel, etc., right? And what else did you promise that you were going to commit to? How are you going to work on your requests?
I'm going to ask.
Softly, right? Talking to it like what?
3-year-old.
Like a 3-year-old. This is how your subconscious mind responds. And at the core of everything, when we got down to it, both of them were just feeling unimportant and unheard and not loved and had these perceptions that they were playing out. When we got down to it, we're like, aw, you see how, the sweet little boys are just feeling unheard and unimportant, and, and so at the core, we all just want to feel loved and heard and all that stuff, right? And then they got to work it out and give each other loves. Well, then I get a message from Sky, and he's having a rough day, and he says, Mom, I'm just really emotional, I'm crying, I'm having a rough day, and he's like, and so I got on the phone with him, and he said, I feel really sad about how I treated Gavin this morning, and all this stuff. So we created, he was going to actually go request to talk to Gavin at school and pull him out and tell his brother how much he loves him. And I actually came and grabbed Sky, just so we ran and got a treat that I got to go give Gavin and give him some love and appreciation. We did treats for some other people, and this is the point. What do you get when you give love and appreciation?
You get love and appreciation back.
Yes. So instead of it being what they were focused on, is they do this whole, well, if I share, then you have to share. And we talked about how there's no such thing as comparison. Comparison is the thief of all joy. How he gets different things and Gavin gets different things based on what they're experiencing and what they're requiring, etc. And that when we do this tit for tat thing, it's always out of transaction. And that's not real love. Love is unconditional. Love is loving all things. So love is loving and honoring people even in whatever they're experiencing. So they're working on loving even when he's having a hard moment or Gavin's having a hard moment, seeing it out of love and compassion. And then what do we get to do to support and love other people? And if we're always giving out love and appreciation, it comes back. So they're focusing on just, they always, when we go on date nights, they have a new habit they've created, which is just being able to be like, ooh, what could I get nice for my brother? And so we looked at how could we, give Gavin some extra love after their disconnect this morning and go give some appreciation. And what did that do?
Made him
he felt super like sweet that he's like, Skylar came to me and he said these things, and you know, and they created an awesome relationship. So that's what we want to share with you guys. It's always up to you. The power of choice is yours. You have. So what did you create, Sky, from going from am I like your adult bleh? Like sleep toy? What is this?
And there goes my drink.
So we created from him going from angry, upset, frustrated, feeling a lot of things. He felt like his brother, he was the shadow to his brother. He felt like his brother always got everything he wanted. Can I talk? And us clearing those perceptions to now he's created an awesome day. We're in flow, we're in awesomeness. He's created awesome with his brother. It's always up to you, right? Yo, snap, go lock it down. Power of choice is yours. Lock it down.
I licked her.
Yes, you did.